Desde el cielo todo es más bonito. Déjame llevarte a las estrellas otra vez, como la noche de ayer. Vámonos a amarte donde nadie vaya a buscarte, ni a ti, ni a mí.
Hey y'all, this is very bright lighting. I just wanted to talk about how I was just doing some journaling and reflecting about what's been going on and like through my head. My birthday is coming up on Sunday, and lately I've been in a more reflective mood, and I'm always in a reflective mood, but anyways, I've been more introspective lately, and I think it's because it's Scorpio season. I was just thinking about how different everything was a year ago, and especially with the holidays and all that stuff, it just makes me think about how much I've grown and changed since then, and it just makes me so appreciative of the journey and the decisions that I made for myself, because only now can you see how much it has affected you. Like those times where you feel uncomfortable and hopeless, and all of that is necessary to grow and to change from who you were to who you want to be. My mom always says your life is a culmination of the decisions that you choose to make, and it's nice that I'm able to reflect and see all the transformations that I've gone through in a year, especially because last year around this time, that was like a rough time. So I'm just so appreciative of all the people that did show up for me during that time, and I'm filled with gratitude at the moment for the people who continue to show up for me. Even though I tend to not reach out to people when I'm going through things, I'm appreciative of the people who give me the space to go through it but are still here if I need anything. I am going to be 23 on Sunday, and I feel like I've learned a lot in a year. I'm definitely not the same person who I was when I turned 22, for sure. I'm happy that I'm not that same person anymore, and that I've had time to explore and to figure out what I want and what I don't want, and to place boundaries and to listen to myself. I think that's what I learned a lot when I turned 22, was to be able to listen to my intuition again, because up until then I was experiencing like the consequences of not listening to your intuition and how detrimental and dangerous that can be, especially if something is like not sitting right in your freaking soul. You will literally experience the same cycles over and over again until you're ready to change and leave those situations. I'm just feeling reflective today. The sun is out, so I think that is also contributing to my mood. I don't know, I just noticed so much change in this past year, and I was writing about it sometime around this time last year. I usually write a letter to myself. It's basically me just reflecting and saying how proud I am. I don't know if it's me talking to my inner child or like my higher self talking to me, but it's one of the two. And I'm just telling myself like how proud I am, and even though we feel like we aren't where we want to be, we're exactly where we're supposed to be at this time, and just continue to do the work and continue to be on the journey, and it's all worth it and it's all necessary. So yeah, that's how I've been feeling lately. One thing that has changed though is that I think I'm more comfortable being alone now. My mom will be like proud of me for saying that, because if y'all have met my mom, she's very independent and her own person. Y'all have met my mom, y'all know. I was struggling with this before, especially during like college and all that stuff. Being comfortable being alone and doing things that are healthy for you. I'm more comfortable being in my own space and taking the time to process things and doing things on my own time. I feel like your 20s are a time to be selfish, especially to be unapologetically selfish, because you have your whole life to think about other people, but your 20s are your times of like self-discovery. I've just been, I don't know, more comfortable just doing the things I need to do, and I guess just doing things alone. Like, it's okay to do that and not feel like you have to have someone there to make your experience valid. That's something I've learned this year for sure. Yeah, it's like I guess me accepting that I actually like myself, and I like my process, and I like the way I learn, and I like the way I reflect, because I feel like we spend a lot of time just not liking ourselves and being so hard on ourselves. We only have ourselves for the rest of our life, and so you might as well just learn to be comfortable with yourself and something like that. This year things are very different, and I like that things are different, and I like that things are changing, and I like that I'm growing, and I like that I spent the time to figure out what I wanted and what I didn't want, and I like that I didn't settle, and I like that there are aspects of my life that I do solely for me and not for anyone else, and I like that I spent the time to figure out a lot of things and to remove myself from situations that weren't serving me and weren't making me happy, and that I stopped giving into certain relationships that I was pouring into more of than I was actually getting. I guess it's just like a balance of learning what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate. When you choose to put in the work into yourself and to feel all the emotions and realize how you actually feel about them versus how you think you should feel, healing isn't linear. You'll still feel hurt by it, and that's okay. But that healing process and the work that you put in is something that no one else can take away and no one else can take credit for. I feel like when you enter into relationships and you're in a broken place and you're in a hurt place, people can take advantage of that, and they can make you feel as if all the healing that you've done is because of them. And I'm so appreciative this time around that I actually took the time to heal and to figure out how things made me feel. You learn more about the boundaries that weren't in place and the boundaries you weren't strong enough to enforce. Sometimes that means walking away from certain situations, and that's okay. You shouldn't have to keep on explaining your boundaries to people, and you shouldn't feel like what you're asking for is too much, and you shouldn't hold on to false hope just because you've invested so much time. People are going to show you exactly who they are, and you're gonna keep on feeling the exact same way until you've learned your lesson, until you're ready to move on, until you're ready to change your life situation. I'm more able to let people come and go. I'm not begging them to stay. I'm not begging them to hold on, because you can't ultimately control other people or what other people do. You kind of just have to trust that people will show you exactly who they are, and that when they do, you're able to act accordingly. I think the people that come into our life are meant to come into our life, and the people that leave are meant to leave. You'll be okay if people leave. I just don't think it's worth it to hold on to people who are continually showing you that they don't want to be a part of your life. Inconsistency is something that I don't really tolerate anymore. Before, I used to take it so personally and be like, they don't like me enough, I'm not good enough, blah blah blah, those types of things. But now it's just, I don't give a fuck. If they're not reciprocating energy or showing effort, or they continually show me who they are, I'm just not gonna waste my time or waste my energy on that. It's just not worth it to me. Me and my mom were talking about this too, like the value of realizing how sacred your time is and your energy is, and who you share that with. I'm enough as I am. I don't have to prove my worth or my value to people. So I've been loving that for me. I'm just feeling happy at the moment, and I feel hopeful, which I think is something that I didn't feel last year, like a year ago. Like a year ago, I felt really broken and like I wasn't really in control. This year though, I feel more hopeful and I feel more me. I like that this year I can be like, I feel more myself than I've ever felt, and I feel more comfortable in my skin, and like I don't have to subdue myself and numb my personality. I can be and express myself fully, or at least more so than last year. But I think it's like I would have told Dharma like a year ago, like 22-year-old Dharma, this, I don't think she would have believed me. It's so crazy too to think that there's a past version of me who wanted to be in this exact space, like exactly where I am right now. There's a past version of me that wanted this. So yeah, I'm just embracing where I am right now and being okay with it and just being more present, realizing there's only ever going to be one me in this lifetime, and I think that's beautiful. Also moving forward, I feel like my vlogs are going to be more reflective just because I'm not partying as much. I feel like y'all can tell. Most of the time I literally just go to work, I work out, and I freaking sleep and shop. That is all. Still working on the balance, don't worry. Don't worry about that, still working on that. I'll probably do this like every year where I just talk and reflect on the year that I've had. It'll be interesting to see what I learn and how different things are going to be next year when I turn 24. See how my life changes. A lot can happen in a year. Yeah. I just feel hopeful today. I feel happy about where I am. I don't feel down as I was last year, a year ago, so I'd say that's improvement. I'm just figuring things out as I go, just like everyone else is. Just living the human experience. I think that's all that I have to say for now.
Amarte donde nadie vaya a buscarte, ni a ti, ni a mí.